this. Man, you're terrible at this. Are you even a cop?
Hold on a second, I'm thinking.
Wait!
I've got it.
Where you going, man? My man, hello?
Don't do it! I'm coming. Patience is a virtue.
What the hell you doing in there?
Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you never want to see me again, I would understand. I would understand.
Oh. What is it?
The angry boy been too insane, icing over a secret pain. You know you don't belong.
Everyone I know has got a reason to say
You can put the past away.
wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. I could cut ties.
All the lies you've been living in.
And if you never want to see me again,
I would understand.
I would understand. I would understand.
I would understand. I would understand. Oh.
Welcome for another one, my friends. Like these candles. These are actually homemade candles. I made them one day. I was kind of bored. I was just like, fuck it, just make a candle, you know? What do I got to lose? Almost burned down the fucking house though. Hello again and welcome to Outer Worlds. Let me talk about some shit that's out of this world. It's in this world, but it's out of this world. It's like out of the box type of thinking, I guess you could say. It's my dude Hanneman right here. Yeah, you're probably wondering why the statue was very small. It's not supposed to go in the necklace or anything. So we bought this on Amazon and I didn't read the description, and yeah, they sent me a small fucking shit. It was like $20. It was fucking shitty. I didn't think it was $20. I think it was worse than that. But shit, fucking jacket. Yeah, this jacket's broke. It's kind of janky. Had it for quite a while, but today I want to talk about the power of yes. But really I want to talk about the movie Yes Man. And what I just want to kind of touch base on about this movie, it's a very powerful, like esoteric, it's a very powerful movie, honestly, in my opinion. You know, when I first watched the movie, it's very old, so I watched the movie, like, my first time, I had to have been, like, what, 8 or 9, 12, at least, I don't know, 15, 16, somewhere around there. I was young, and I didn't think the way I think now, as far as, I think the way I think now, but I didn't know those things I know now, so it was just like an average movie to me, you know, and as I got older, and I became, you know, spiritual or whatever, and I started realizing, I'm like, okay, well, what is this movie saying? You know, like, just to give a brief explanation about the movie, it's about this dude, you know, and is kind of depressed because his girlfriend leaves him. His girlfriend left him before, this happened, before everything or whatever. And he's like kind of a couch potato. He's just sit on the couch all the time. He doesn't really goes out with his friends. Watches he watches the same movies over and over. And not really watches the same movies, but he's like a couch potato. He really doesn't get out as much. And his friends are constantly trying to force him to come out, and but he's just not in the mood to do it, just based on the fact that he lost his girlfriend. She didn't die or anything, but she left him, and he meets this friend he knew. I guess he knew him from back in the day or whatever. They used to work together or something like that, and he gives him this little flyer to this thing, like this little lecture thing, like this Yes Man lecture thing or whatever. And so he goes to the lecture, and at first he doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe that, well, if I say yes to everything, good things are going to happen. That's obviously not true, or whatever. So he says no to things, and he gets this bad luck from just saying no. Like, even though the fact he went to this lecture and he learned all these things. And then he has this dream, and don't quote me on it. I might be, my timings might be off. I haven't watched the movie in a while. I just was thinking about it. The song in the movie kind of popped up, and I'm going to put that. I think I put that in the beginning of the video. I'm not sure, because I actually am recording this before I edit the video, so hopefully I remember to put that song in the beginning. But that song was just popped in my head. I'm like, I made a video about Yes Man, there's no reason. But so he has this dream that his friends come in the house, and he's just like, his mouth is all fucked up and open, and he's just laying on the couch dead. The actor who played the movie, if you watch the movie, you obviously know it's Jim Carrey. An exceptional, very talented, fucking hilarious comedian. He's just that dude. I can't honestly say anything else. He's just that dude. But so he has that dream. He's like, oh, she's kind of scared or whatever. So then he sees a flyer. And then he just started doing all these things. He started saying yes to everything. And obviously, I wanted to touch base on, from my perspective, what I believe that means. And I believe that the yes, it's almost like making good out of a bad situation. So it's just like, it's not as far as that you have to walk around Earth or your city or wherever you from. It's the only reason it's not like you have to walk around just saying yes to everything, because obviously you know that it's not going to be the best thing to do. Because if somebody asks you like, hey, are you going to jump off that cliff? And you say yes, and then now you're dead. It's not the best thing. We don't want that to happen to nobody. So, or someone asks you a wild question like, I'm not gonna put that in the video. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. But somebody asks you like a favor or something. Can I borrow $1,000? And you only have $1,000 to your name, so it's just like, yes, you can have $1,000. It's not necessarily telling you to just go about saying yes to everything. You can say no. You're not a bad person for saying no, but it's kind of saying like, change your thoughts, change your emotional pattern. Basically, like, if you just pay attention to the movie, he was always sad, he didn't want to go out. So now when he starts saying yes, he's more optimistic, he's more open. And when you're more open to things, you have a greater chance to experience bliss besides being closed in, if you understand what I'm saying. And being closed in can cause depression and all types of other things, just simply from being closed in and staying in the house and laying on the couch all the time. You know, your friends ask you, you want to go to this party, you want to go to this club, hey, you want to go to my, dude, and being in the house, that can really cause that. Sometimes you actually need to be in the house alone sometimes. Me, personally, I like to be alone in the house. Not every single day, but certain days I do because I need to get my mind right or whatever, meditate a little bit or watch a movie. Simple as just watching a movie and eating snacks or, just lounging out. I like doing that type of stuff alone sometimes. But I also like being around people and conversating, whatever. But from what I believe that it's basically saying that have a more optimistic approach about life. And you'll see, and be more open, you'll see that these opportunities basically will just present themselves to you. It's not necessarily saying that you have to say yes to everything, but it's saying that you have to change your perspective towards a yes type of thing. And it's like just being open. And when you're open and you're optimistic, these good things just attract themselves to you, when you're just lounging, you're no, that is like, honestly, you have to say no to certain things. Like, hey, can I borrow your car? I want to drive to Texas. And you live all the way in New York. That's not a good thing to just say yes to. But it's saying that changes the no mentality as far as being closed in and being, I don't want to say negative, but almost like negative. It's basically saying that, like, once you change your perspective on things, you have a more optimistic outlook. You have a more optimistic outlook on things, and you are sending these positive energies out to the universe. They will actually come back tenfold, literally. Like, and I've noticed this from little things in my life, just not necessarily just saying yes to everything, but like when I gave out a little bit of positive energy, it was just like I would see it come back, but like tenfold, and I'd be like, whoa, what the I'll be shocked at this. And basically just try to keep your mind positive at any time, And there's times where something's gonna happen, it's gonna be negative. I'm not saying not to react to that or whatever. This doesn't make you a bad person. It's not you're gonna be cursed and have bad karma because you reacted that way. It's just the fact that if you let it affect you, then it becomes a problem. If it affects you and you go from the problem and it's still recurring in your mind, then it becomes a problem because it's attached itself to you, and that's not necessarily good. But I feel like that movie is a great example of how positive thinking honestly have a very good outcome, just thinking positive. And because positive thinking is almost like mindfulness or whatever they call it. And it's like being in the moment, because things happen throughout the day. And I understand sometimes you just think positive, you go about your day, just do. But majority of those thoughts majority of your thoughts are going to be not necessarily positive or negative. But when you are continuously creating these positive thoughts, and I'm not talking about something good happened to you, you win the lottery, or someone calls you or give you good news. I'm talking about just regularly going about your day and you're creating these positive thoughts, because it's easy when you get good news to think positive because it just makes you happy. And that can have a benefit in your life too from thinking that way. But also, when you're just going about your day and you are come across problems, not to worry about it, to be the yes man, just to be like, whatever, and not like you're ignoring it. Like if you get something in the mail and your bill is, and your rent or your light bill is $1,000. Don't just whatever. Doesn't matter. I mean, you almost want to think that way, but you don't want to go about it that way because you won't have any more likes, and that's not necessarily good. Yeah, it's not necessarily good. So you just want to not let it worry you. You know, it's easy. It's not that easy to go through life without letting things worry you. But the whole concept of positive thinking, from my perspective, is it's basically just no matter what the situation is, always have a positive outlook of it. Always see the greater side of it. So it's like in the movie Yes Man, he gave his money. He gave his, some dude asked him, he dropped some homeless dude off, let him borrow his phone. The homeless dude was talking, he's driving him all the way out to who knows where. And the homeless dude asks him for some money. He gives him all his money, and because he's a yes man, so he's like, have it. Sure, you can have it, all of it. And it's not to say that, see, that situation right there is very magical, because it's not to say that when someone asks you for something that's super gigantic that you're just supposed to, here you go. It's to say that life puts you through those situations that might seem fucked up. They might seem totally abnormal. You're like, oh my goodness, why is this happening to me? Oh my freaking goodness. But keep that positive mindset, because a lot of us, I've seen a lot of people, they'll go through something that's hell, totally hell. And then they'll be like, after the hell is over with, they'll be like, well, I'm glad that happened because this happened. And it's like, if you keep your mind in that yes man, that positive mindset, even when the tragedies happen and you get rewarded with the blessings, you'll still be able to cherish the blessings. But if you kept your mind in this negative mindset and then you got the blessings, you're not even going to be too focused on the blessings, and you're going to miss out on countless blessings because you're only focused on the tragedy of what happened, And I put that concept in a lot of different things. The Buddhists, or I heard this, I'm pretty sure it's the Buddhists. It doesn't matter. Just listen to the concept, or what I'm saying, But they said that your favorite cup, no matter what you do, is destined to break. The concept is not to focus on the tragedy of the cup, but focus on the good times, which is a hard thing to do, because you're like, well, that's in the past. I want to enjoy my cup now. I want to enjoy this now, and a lot of these things happen, whether it be a relationship, whether it be your favorite car or your friend, and you're just absolutely just, oh my goodness, that was my girlfriend, that was my boyfriend, how could this happen? You're only focused on the tragedy of it. Don't focus on the tragedy. Those type of things are going to happen. And then then you'll find yourself with a better girlfriend, a better boyfriend. You'll be like, oh my goodness, a better car. And you're like, oh, well, I understand why I had that car. I understand why I had that. It was to teach me this. Like, life is literally a lesson to be learned. It's literally school. This is literally school. We can enjoy ourselves. We can do whatever you want to do. Party, drink, smoke, just lounge around. We can do that. But it's a school, and no matter what, you're going to be taught. And there are people who are taught differently. Other people, in my opinion, I feel like they're really taught. Life is just handed to them. But I feel like they're really young. And I'm not talking about as far as their ages. They could be 50 and everything is just handed to them in life. I'm talking about as far as their spirit, their soul, is, well, I'm going to just say spirit. Now let's put the soul in it. But their spirit is very young. So it's still indulging in life. And the spirit gets older, it's like, okay, well, I had this before. I've had all these girlfriends, boyfriends, house, I had everything. So it's just like, what's next? What's new? And that's when you find yourself going through trials in life. you know, these tragedies that ultimately, that you will ultimately be paid with these blessings, you know? You can look at it like, well, there's people out here who's just given things. There's people out here who have to work for those things. I'm not saying that they actually have to go in and work for it, but they're put through the test where they have to work for it. They have no choice but to work for that. And if they don't, they'll be stagnant. They'll die. Not die physically, but they'll die mentally. You know, they'll be stagnant. But when that person decides to take that journey and put in that work, then they'll realize that their blessings, their rewards is greater than the person who's just handed everything, because you went through a lot of hell just to get that, and it creates a certain substance in you that when you get it, you're more appreciative of it. Besides, you're just giving it. It's like watching TV, you know. No one wants to watch something that they already watched it before, you know. You can watch it, you already know what's going to happen. But when you don't know what's going to happen, then it creates a certain level of suspense. And we are good at watching movies like that. But when it comes to our life, we want to know what's going to happen. And it's not always going to be that way. But I guarantee you, there's always going to be a benefit at the end of the tunnel. There's always going to be that light. No matter how stressful the situation is, you are literally being put through a test. And it's not like it's out of your control. You actually decided that. You know, someone comes down here and they become famous and rich, or just rich or wealthy or whatever. They chose that life for them. And if you came down here and you're not the most, you know, whoop-de-doo, you chose that for a reason. Probably because all that fancy stuff, all that materialistic stuff, you already had it before. And now, you know, your spirit is searching for something different. The ego is still duped in humanity, so it comes down here and it's just, you know, it wants to have all the fancy clothes and the cars and, you know, all these different things. And the spirit's like, well, I want knowledge. I want understanding. What am I here for? You know, who am I? You know, these types of things. And it can be hard for a person going through that journey just to level themselves and realize, okay, well, I have a job to do, you know? But we don't want to talk too much about it. Yes Man is an incredible movie. I advise a lot of people to watch it, not just one time, but 4, 5, 6, how many ever times you need to watch it, just when you're feeling low, to realize that, okay, the situation is bad right now, but it's bad for a reason. And I have to see the bright side of it, you know. Keep the yes man mentality. Not saying that you just say yes to everything, but keep that positive mentality that things are going to work out the way they're supposed to. And yeah. But to explain, but go back to what I was saying. So, you know, he drops off the dude. He runs out of gas. Just will always thing. Lo and behold, guess who he meets? Some girl that's on a moped, and then he end up falling for her. They like each other, and he goes to her concerts, and all these stuff plays out. And he could have been, you know, he could have never went through that situation. He would never found that girl. He probably would have been the same dude, sleeping on the couch every night, you know, not going out. He met that girl. He's more open. He's doing all these things, and yeah. Yes Man, it's a very powerful movie. I advise a lot of people to watch it when you're feeling low, when you're feeling like things aren't going as good. Just realize, like, everything's gonna be all right. Literally, everything is playing out the way it's supposed to play out. That's enough of my rant. Peace to my peoples out there in the galaxy, in the world, down the street, wherever you are listening. I appreciate you.
The word is yes. Yes, yes, yes. Say it 1,000,000 times. Say it 1,000,000 more times. And the word you will have said 2,000,000 times is... I want you to invite yes into your lives because it will RSVP yes. When you say yes to things, you embrace the possible. You gobble up all of life's energies and you excrete the waste. Before we begin today, I'd like to welcome our new members. Who among you is new?
He is! This guy right here! He's new. Over here!
Come on up, future yes man.
That's okay, I'm just auditing.
You can't audit life, my friend. Now get on up here.
No thanks, I'm cool.
I'm sorry? What was that you said?
I said, I'm cool.
Before that?
Thank you.
Back up just a little bit more.
No.
If the molehill won't come to Terence, Terence will come to the molehill. What's your name?
Carl.
Let me guess, Carl. Someone talked you into coming here today, didn't they?
Yes.
And you're not sure about this, are you?
No.
You're dead, Carl. You say no to life, and therefore you're not living. You make up excuses to the people around you and to yourself. You're stuck in the same dead-end job you have been for years. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't have anything close to a girlfriend. And you lost the love of your life because she couldn't be with someone who didn't live theirs. Wow. And on most nights, you're so bored and filled with ennui, you can't even summon the enthusiasm necessary to masturbate. Am I right, Carl?
I have had some trouble.
We're gonna make a covenant, Carl. Do you want to make a covenant? The word is yes, Carl.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Once you leave this building, every time an opportunity presents itself, no matter what it is, you will say yes.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
What if I say the other word?
You'll be making a promise to yourself. And when you break a promise to yourself, things can get a little dicey. What do you say, Carl? Are you ready to make a covenant?
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
Again.
Yes.
Say it again.
Yes!
Make me believe it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yeah!